However, at the moment, because Northern Ireland remains in effect a part of the European Union for economic purposes, and because Northern Ireland has to follow EU regulations, then any divergence of the rest of the UK from the European Union increases the divergence between Northern Ireland and the other parts of the UK. And so at some point, what's going to happen is Northern Ireland is going to feel itself so closely aligned with the EU and so divergent from the UK that it depends economically on its relationship with the EU and not with the UK. And it's at that point that Northern Ireland, de facto, as Effie Deans says here, unifies with Ireland because they each follow the same EU regulations. So the next step becomes a matter of course. So the Northern Ireland Protocol is actually a very big threat to the Union of the United Kingdom, and the new Prime Minister who comes in with his or her new broom is going to have to sweep that protocol away. That's the first thing. That's the first threat to the long-term future of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Get rid of the Northern Ireland Protocol. It must be treated, as Effie Deans says here, as a threat to the existence of the UK and treated accordingly. And perhaps Truss understands this. So that's the first thing. The second easy win is, as we've always said, is to stop the British civil service in Scotland promoting separation. Now, if a law, and it will have to be a law, is passed to stop that, then that will really cut the wheels from under the Scottish National Party, because they depend upon the millions of pounds that are coming in order to pay the British civil service to write all these white papers, to do all this research, to put all this propaganda out there. Okay, so you stop that, and that's going again to derail the SNP. And we spoke about this. A law to stop the civil service pushing the India agenda. Now, Lord Foulkes has been doing a yeoman's work in the House of Lords promoting this idea, and it's time. It's time. Sometimes in the politics of societies, certain moments come along when it's time to do all these changes, and this will be one of them when we get a new Prime Minister who has to come straight in and do those two things: ditch the protocol, stop the British civil service promoting separation. The third thing is to change the devolution settlement. Okay, you need to change it from what it is at the moment to basically, at the moment, everything, the Holyrood, everything is permitted unless it's written down by Westminster. Okay, so Holyrood can do anything, can pass any law, any policy, unless it's written down as reserved. And even then, it's not very clear. That's why we have them going off to the Supreme Court for clarification. Utterly absurd. It should be crystal clear what Holyrood can and cannot do. So the so-called devolution settlement has to be changed so that only that which is written down clearly is permitted. We can't have this situation where we don't know if they can do it or not. All you need to do is check, is it written down as permitted? If it's written down as permitted, you can do it. If it's not written down as permitted, you can't do it. That's the settlement that should have been in place from the start. But it's not the one that we've got. And the fourth thing to do, and Effie Deans as well touches on this, is to integrate economically. Okay, as she says, use British public spending to integrate each part of the UK so that it depends on every other part, so that separation is a stupid thing to do, because every part of the United Kingdom and all the businesses and so on are wound in together closely. As she says, make trade deals which it would be disadvantageous for firms in Northern Ireland or Scotland to ditch. Do everything you can to treat the UK as one country rather than four. And that's economic integration. That's what we need. And of course, we also need social and cultural integration. And again, in our magazine, Do More Together, we've spoken about over 102 different ideas for social and cultural integration, and you can get that from our shop.